Good morning, good morning. Happy birthday to you, even if it's not your real birthday. Every day is your birthday if you choose to celebrate life. Why wouldn't you want to celebrate life when you find fun things like this in the park that you've just been walking around? Or you've been running around, in fact. Should be time to take a little bit of joy in the little things in life. Tiny little things that you can find fascination in. And even if you don't have things like this in your local park, you can look at the trees and find fascination there. You can find the little animals and find fascination there. You can find fascination in the weather and the skies. Welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. Now we are going to start with birthdays to start off with today, unusually, because bizarrely I have 3 friends on my Facebook friends list today whose birthday it is today, and they're all called Hannah. What are the odds? It's like astronomical, surely, isn't it? Hannah Moodie, Hannah Kennedy Jackson, and Hannah WT, interesting enough. So happy birthday to you 3 Hannahs. Hannah.
Time to work the cardio and then jump in the shower.
I hope you have an amazing birthday today. Happy birthday to you. But we're going to carry on celebrating the little stuff around this little park, because there's a few other things to look at before we get on to talking about celebrating the little things in your life. But come on, let's just go back and have a little walk around this little park. Fascinating. Check it out. There we go. Take a few moments just to enjoy. I actually thought that was a globe, and like an Earth globe. It's a bit like sort of south of Africa, something like that. I'm not sure, but I thought it was a little bit of a globe. There's a little thing here with a whole bunch of buttons on it. Take a few minutes out of your day just to enjoy the fun things somebody's made into this park. Look at this. Bumblebees, very Manchester, and some ladybirds. Beautiful. Come around here. Oh, something poking up from behind the flowers over here. I'm not quite sure what it's meant to be, but it's very nice. And then a little friendly little spider with red legs, beautiful. And then a little river, a little leaf flowing down the river, having a little party on its own. Having a little meow, isn't it cool? Beautiful, isn't it? Having a nice little journey on its way to the sea. That's my coat. And I'm going to come up to that stuff in a minute. We're going to look at this first of all. Look at this little pole with a whole bunch of feathers in it. I'm not quite sure what the significance are. I noticed this feather had come out of here, so I thought as part of this we would replace this feather into one of the holes. There you go. I've got my elastic band, which I think I told you about before, to hold my phone later on. And we come around the corner here and we have this little wave thing going on here. Yay! Another one of those little creatures, look over there. Some more ladybirds. Little thing with, what's this? Oh, some button flowers, look. Oh, very nice. Beautiful. Children having some fun next door. Lovely. And then, I'm not sure what's going on here. Little sticky things going on there. But it's all beautiful. Some children down there. May or may not be coming and joining us. Hello Kylie Smiley Jones. This is a very smiley video. You have to watch the beginning of this though, but look at this. Here you go. This is for you. Don't know how much you've actually seen, but it's all about enjoying the little things in life. Little spider. Look at that. There we go. And then that's where I just came from. It's beautiful, isn't it? What a lovely little park. In Ilfracombe, of all things. Right, I'm going to go and put myself inside the... Oops, flip that around. There we go. Inside the plastic band. Ta-da! Hands-free. Happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday, Kylie. Hope you're having a lovely day today, even if it's not your real birthday. I know it's not your real birthday because it's 3 Hannah's birthdays today. Fun. The Blinkist book of the day. Absolutely fascinating today. It's called History of the World Through 6 Glasses. It's beer, then wine, then rum. And those of you who know me very well know that I started a business called Neptune Rum in 2017. Go check it out, neptunerum.com. Coffee, tea, and soda. Soda obviously being sort of Coca-Cola, and Sprite, I guess, and 7-Up and all that kind of stuff. But specifically Coca-Cola, because that was kind of the first one. Interesting about so Coca-Cola, the very first version of Coca-Cola was actually a wine and cola, Coke, wine and Coke drink. But then he made it into a non-alcoholic version because of prohibition in America, and that's what eventually became Coca-Cola. It's fascinating, isn't it? And then the whole thing through from beer and then into wine for sort of aristocracy, and then sort of making it like part of normal people's lives, but also using it as a bit of a status symbol, of course, and then onto rum, where it became a sort of it was to do with the slave trade, was obviously very much integral in that, especially in the Caribbean, and then it was used as money. In the Royal Navy, there's a Navy rum, and it was actually used as a thing. It was part of I can't remember what the actual story is, but there is a drink called Navy rum, and there's a thing you can do with rum where you light it with gunpowder, and if it lights, then it's proper rum, and then it's worth, it's like a bottle of rum, and you test it by lighting it on some gunpowder. I can't remember. There's a whole story behind that. It's fascinating. It wasn't in the book. This is a separate story. And then coffee, of course, came about, and then tea became a sort of more refined drink. Interestingly, I didn't know this, and in the book it talks about this, about tea having antibacterial processes, and allowed people to drink water, and stopped spreads of diseases quite as much. Absolutely fascinating. Like I said, listen to the book. It's just mind-blowing, the history of how these drinks became part of our society, and how it tied our society together, and how they became integral parts of it, including, of course, from a tea perspective, of course, is taxes, and the British taxing, because the East India Tea Company became so powerful, it had the ability to influence taxes, and therefore they weren't taxed on the tea that they shipped to America. And then, of course, that was when Americans got taxed on the tea, and that's what led to the Boston Tea Party. Yeah. Well, I'm sure it was called Boston Tea Party anyway, which then led to the War of Independence from England, ultimately. And then, of course, you get Hamilton from that, and just absolutely brilliant. And then that whole beautiful King George song in Hamilton. If you've not seen that, by the way, go check that out. That's fantastic. So yeah, it's all about, so back to the main topic of the day. But it is, again, it's just about finding that joy in the little things in your life. There are little things all over your life, including these little beautiful feathers that are on this pole. Here's a green one. Look, there you go, a green one. For those of you coming on late, you have to watch the beginning bit to make much more sense. But yeah, just recognise around you in the whole world about the joy of just the little things in your life, the moment, being present in the moment as well, and just enjoying the little things. This is a park I was at. If you remember, a couple of days ago I did a video from down by the lake, and there was a whole bunch of ducks who were just having like this little washing party thing. They swam across the lake, and then they all hopped out, and then they all ducked down and got some more water and washed themselves out, and it was absolutely fascinating. And I just sat there and watched them for like 5 minutes. It's like, what a beautiful thing to be really present in the moment and watching that, not worrying about my past and the negativity of the past, and not worrying about things I've got to do in the future, but just enjoying that moment, that time, that specific moment in time. The power of now, as Eckhart Tolle would say. And then yesterday I went down to the seafront and stopped at this coffee shop called Stack, and I was sitting there having my coffee, and I was trying to take a picture of the coffee and the scene in the background and the cake and everything like this. And of course I was doing this thing where you do this like this, and there was a couple sitting behind there, so it kind of looked like I was taking photographs of them. And I said, "Oh, sorry, I wasn't taking a photograph of you." And then the guy in the couple, who may or may not be watching this, because I did give them my little cards that I give out to people who ask questions. There you go. Go and check me out on YouTube. I need to put my phone number and my email address on there as well, because a number of people will say, "Oh, how can I get in touch with you?" Anyway, little mini cards. Actually, I may just go and order some from. Anyway, whatever. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, he said, "What are you going to do with that photograph? Because where do you put that photograph?" And I said, "Well, I'll put it on Facebook probably." I didn't actually in the end, but I actually took it for my mum partly because I wanted to say to her, "Hi, look, this is what I'm up to," and also for my friend Cindy, who I spoke about when I was down by the pond, who had recommended that coffee shop. So I want to say, "Hey, look at this coffee shop that I'm in now." And obviously I then got chatting to the couple behind me, and we're talking about the Camino and my walk along the Camino, about my walking retreat that I'm doing on the Camino, the last 100 kilometers. So the wife was really interested, the husband wasn't very interested in that. But they were fascinated with the whole idea of walking and how fit you have to be to do the walk. And I was like, well, you don't have to be that fit at all, especially my retreat, which is only 7 days. And I've got it broken down so that the first day is a really short walk, and then you ship your bags forward for the second day, which is a slightly longer walk and a bit of hills. And then you carry your bags from that point onwards. But like by then you've kind of got used to the whole concept and the idea of the whole thing. Yeah, that was good. And then he was talking about mental health and helping people, and it really made me feel like you can start these little conversations with people. You can start this idea of having a conversation with people, and just enjoying that little moment of having that conversation with them. But just rather than thinking, oh, I've got something, I came to the coffee shop to do something specific, but I took a moment out to have a talk to that couple. And met some new people, may or may not become followers of mine, may not watch this video, I don't know. Hi guys, I didn't get your names, so sorry I can't say hello to you. Must remember to ask names next time of people. But yeah, just enjoying that moment, just having that moment to enjoy life, just like I did with the ducks the other day, or like I just did now walking around here. So I've actually spent a bit of time working out where everything was and what was to look at, so that when I do the video with you, I can show you all the little bits that I saw. Yeah, go back and watch the beginning of this video if you haven't already. So yeah, that's basically it. Oh, and then it didn't turn into anything, but yeah, I had a lovely conversation. But then later on, I had a conversation with a guy called Dan Harrison, who I'm doing a little challenge with at the moment. And he was saying about starting conversations, and actually even Cordelia Kate, who runs the Rebellious Business Network, talks about how all of business is really about building relationships and having conversations with people, building relationships, and getting to know people, and then starting your marketing. So she always talks about how marketing is just about building relationships, which is true. She has a very good chat about dating analogies and Tinder analogies and stuff, which is great fun. And it's true. I've never been particularly good at that whole dating scene, and I'm not being particularly good at marketing, so I guess it's the same concept really. It's just not really understanding how to do that building relationships thing. And so I'm learning all that stuff now, thanks to Cordelia, thanks to Dan, and thanks to a few other people who have been involved in that whole process. But now, hopefully, I'm on the verge now, because I sat there yesterday all day, kind of planning out my antidepressant program, and really thinking about how is this going to be structured, how is this going to work. And I had a chat with a guy a couple of days ago about what his thinking was around why he was finding himself blocked around seeing the positives and things. And so that gives me fuel as well, because okay, so I can see that if I do this thing here and say these things, then I can lead you on a path and a journey from feeling miserable about life, not seeing the good in anything, to recognizing that you have control over your emotions and your feelings by just changing your thoughts and your behaviors. So you can change your habits, really daily, small habits, and that can have a massive effect on how you feel and how your emotions play out on a daily basis. So yeah, anyway, hopefully that was fascinating. Just under 15 minutes, luckily, which is good. Always nice to make sure that I keep it under 15 so I can post it straight onto Utility Warehouse, Instagram without editing. Right, let's just do the breathing exercise before we go. Normally I would just do the happy birthdays at the end here, but I already did happy birthday. So happy birthday, Hannah. What's the one thing you're going to get done today? Blow it out. Breathe in 5 through your nose. Hand on the heart while you're holding your breath. Light the candles on your left hand, and then blow out the candles on your left hand. And feel the breath on the tips of your fingers while you're doing that as well. Good morning. While you're doing that, and it takes everything out of your brain, gets a good bit of lungs into. Do it 5 times. Think about one thing you're going to get done, one thing you've got done, one thing you're grateful for, one thing that's made you smile, and then wish yourself a happy birthday, and everybody else in the rest of the world as well a happy birthday as well, because it's the first day of the rest of your life. Go out and enjoy. Find the little things, find the joy in life. Bye guys. Love you all.